So stability in the price system and stability in the foreign exchange rate will help to drive confidence into the system. Where did we get this even 6 billion? Did we go to borrow it? Because we are owing. Is it part of the 10 billion the CBN was owing banks? Or is there another money? That's one.
A great delight to have you join us on Noble TV Live. My name is Gray Amona, and today we're looking at the recent development, in the money economy, in which the federal government made available about more than $6 billion US, through the central bank to the various segments of the commercial banking nexus, in order to solve the problem of foreign exchange distribution and generally reflate the money economy. And to help us enlighten the viewership on this issue is a Comrade Augustine Omelu. And welcome to Noble TV Live.
Thank you very much. Well,
beyond politics, what usually occupies public opinion is how the performance of the economy affects the health of the country generally. And the recent development in which about $6 billion was made available for the economy in order to solve the problem of dispensing foreign exchange. How do you think it will actually improve matters, not just at the area, not just in the area of foreign exchange distribution, but more importantly, the health of the local currency?
Yes, thank you very much, Gray. You see, sometimes our planners, economic planners, appear to be, getting us more confused. Even if they are doing the right things, sometimes we don't get to understand it so well that we begin to now know the direction of the policies. For example, now the federal government have made available, like you said, over $6 billion for banks now to be able to now cope with the mirage of demands from them, of FX. And of course, that definitely will translate to more dollars now being made available for importers and the people who have one thing or the other to do with dollars, foreign currency. And if that happens, of course, where you have enough supply, there is tendency for our own Naira to appreciate, because the problem we have in the past, we have been experiencing is because the shortfall in the supply of dollars. So this one now that has been popped into the system by the federal government through the banks, of course, will help to resolve the issue of non-availability of dollars. But there's a clause there, what are the machineries, put in place to ensure that this money that have been sent to the banks now will actually get to the people that actually need it.
For whom it's meant.
Yes, for importation of those things that we cannot get in Nigeria. I'm asking this question because there are some persons who actually have access to these dollars. You go to your bank, you take $2 million, at whatever rate. Instead of making use of the dollars, you keep it in your house. Use it as a kind of a store of value, like what we used to have as a gold before.
Yes, a basic property of money.
Yes, you keep it there, watching to see when the Naira depreciates again, then you sell. After selling, you go back again to buy. There are some persons who are just doing nothing in our economy, do nothing businesses. You just go to the bank, you have connection, you collect money, put in your bank, in your house, then later you go and sell. So how are we sure that these monies will actually get to the right people that actually need the dollars? That's one question. Then the second question is, about when Kaneso actually took over as the CBN governor, we were told that the CBN, strangely, was owing banks to the tune of $10 billion, which the banks were expecting them to pay so that they will be able to solve the problem. So my question now for the federal government is, because they didn't explain, this 6.something billion now, is it part of the 10 billion the CBN was owing banks? Or is there another money? That's one.
To defray that outstanding
debt. Now, or alternatively, where did we get this even 6 billion? Did we go to borrow it? Because we are owing. So if we are going to borrow the money in addition to whatever we are owing before, how is it going to help the economy? Because you cannot. So if we're told now that because the crude oil that we used to export, has appreciated in price, and therefore we made so and so dollars, and this so and so dollars now we are trying to deploy now, or we have deployed it now to the banks for them to now have more. We don't have all these explanations helping us. So Nigerians are likely to be thinking that federal government has gone ahead now to borrow another 6 billion or 6 point something billion naira now to pump into the markets. But meanwhile, there are no feasible signs to show that controls are put in place to ensure that these monies actually get to the right people. So maybe this may lead to another economic burden on the system.
So how do you think managers of the economy can wriggle out of in the actual confusion about an outstanding debt and a facility meant to reflect the money economy? You know, how do you think the managers of the economy can wriggle out of that problem? You know, address conclusively and decisively the issue of foreign exchange, you know, rationalization to improve, you know, the local, you know, expenditure terrain.
Yes. One, first of all, information is very important.
Yes.
Even if we are not even able to regulate ourselves out of the economic problem we have found ourselves, but let everybody be, well, as many people as possible be carried along so that we'll be on the same page with the government. Yes. So whatever the government is doing, we're able to understand it and know that, yes, government is trying. Just that, you know how it is. Yes. But in a situation where we are not clearly, you know, informed about that, so that is a problem. Now, back to your question now about how these things can be regular. One, our industries need to be protected. That's infant industries now. That's what we're taught in economics. So how do we protect the infant industries? If this cloth is made in Nigeria, why would I leave it and go looking for dollars to go and buy one from the US or any other part of the country? I mean, any other part of the world. And I cannot continue to put on this cloth if people don't appreciate me for putting on this cloth. If you see me like say, it's putting on made in Nigeria, and therefore you kind of yes, you kind of maybe despise me because I'm putting on made in Nigeria. So if we have people in Nigeria using made in Nigeria goods, shoes, clothes, whatever it is, you know, as much as we can produce here, that will reduce the demand for dollar for import. Secondly, Nigerians must be taught and be encouraged to use made in Nigerian goods. And who will teach them? Orientation agencies. And if we do that, Nigerians will realize that, yes, even if I go to the market and see made in somewhere, I would prefer made in Nigeria. Why? Because it will help me and it will help my generations yet unborn. So these are the issues. Now, if for any reason we want to now import, federal government must state clearly those things that can be imported. You see, before, if you needed to travel abroad for studies, for instance, in Nigeria, when you got to the Ministry of Education or anywhere before your application for study journey or movement is concerned, they look at the course you want to study abroad. If the course is available in Nigeria, they don't allow you to go abroad to study. So, but today now, even if you want to study religious studies, you go to any country to go and study, not even in Nigeria. If you want to go and study history, you can even go to where people don't even know about Nigeria to go and study history. History of where? Now, that is the thing. So, if we now put in place the measures to ensure that it is only what we cannot get in Nigeria that we can go abroad to get, then all this will be ways of ensuring
control
that
of forex results.
Yes, exactly. So this is my take.
So finally, as a way out, what do you think will be the recipe for eventually stabilizing the foreign exchange market vis-a-vis the potential of our money economy?
Yes, if I like when Lamido Sanusi visited the CBN governor just about 2 days ago, and at that meeting, the CBN governor was telling the man that actually his focus is to stabilize pricing in Nigeria. I said, wow, that is the best way to go. Just similar to what you are saying now, that if the stabilization of this currency is something, if we have price stability, we have currency exchange rate stability. What it brings about is confidence in the economy. That confidence will rise as a result of people now believing that if you want to invest, you say, okay, I'm going to bring a so and so thing into the country, for example. If I bring it at the rate of so and so, I'm going to make a profit of so and so. You can determine it. But the situation where you are importing now, like people who are importing fuel, and some of them are folding their hand, they are not importing again, because if you want to import now, you import at a rate with the dollar. And before your goods arrive in the country, the dollar has actually changed value again. And it brings confusion. So stability in the price system and stability in the foreign exchange rate will help to drive confidence into the system.
Okay.
and attract more investors.
Okay. So, Comrade Augustine Miller, our guest, says it, quite it's quite gratifying to have him or hear him say that yes, to stabilize the foreign exchange sector, we have to actually, reactivate all the levers that will improve the working, of the domestic economy. And one of the first ports of call is to raise the confidence level, in the international community relative to investment prospects in Nigeria, and that will, in the long term, improve, create a lot of room for improvement. Thank you very much for making it again to Noble TV Live.
Thank you so much.
To have you. You like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to drop your comments so that at the end of the day you don't forget to press or click on the notification button to enable us to bring to your doorstep the updates that will gladden your heart. Thank you for insisting on Noble Television.